Dija exposes a societal dysfunction that is failing Nigerian kids. So I think I feel the same way that Dija feels. You know, Nigeria apparently has the lowest age of consent, which is 11, and I think that is so uncool. Because I think a child is easily, it's not even a teenager. A teenager starts from 13. So you're not even saying age of consent should be 13. Anyone below 13 is still a child. So for you to now say a child can make, you know, consensual decisions, you know, on their own is just setting up the country for a high rate and high level of pedophilia.
Which is where we are right now. And this age of consent, consent, right? It's a conversation that has been ongoing, and it's quite interesting to see that Dija is lending a voice. At least it will enhance the the conversation on this subject, because I know a particular platform that when you listen to them, they keep running a very short jingle on the age of consent. Why is it still 11? What are people doing about it? So I think this is one of, when people that are supposed to be lawmakers are coming out to ask you to vote for them, what exactly did they even put on the table to ask you to vote for them? What laws are they hoping to go there to change? These are the kind of conversations we should have, and have them go there to do the right thing, because it didn't just start now. When we had the child bride issue that trended on social media for a long time, this conversation came up, because if you say you're arresting them or you're going to have conversations with them and then you go back to the law cannot even save them, you know. So I think our lawmakers should look into this, and it's high time, it's overdue.
Yeah. And I think this is a subject for saving the girl child generally, because regardless of how you look at it, and I like the fact that she said this is not about religion or tribe or whatever. It's just the truth. Like whether you're Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, Christian, Muslim, whatever, being with a child, when you're saying the age of consent is 11, like, come on, imagine your own daughter at 11. Won't you still be very protective of her? So how would she give consent to sexual activities at the age of 11? I think that is a very sad situation. And this is why most of these people still marry the girl, the child bride. And if you guys remember, in the case of a Chinwe, I think in Anambra State or something like that, that was made to marry. She was 15 years old at the time, even though she was a teenager. But I think a lot of people stood up for her, and at the end of the day, it was resolved. Now, Chinwe was someone that was forced to marry a guy with Down syndrome, and is way older than her. So it's crazy, and I think the more people come out to speak on this, things will definitely change. And like you said, the lawmakers, what are they doing? Now, these are the people that we need to speak to. Now, we need to start writing petitions. We need to start lending our voices and make sure that things like this changes. And yeah, the minimum wage has been...
But before you get to the minimum wage, I also want to take us back to the idea that when we have movies, you see, what's the board again? Please help me.
The National Film and Video Censors Board.
Let me just call them the Censors Board. They would always come down and tell you, oh, this has sexual content, it has violence, it has to be 18 and above and all that. They take time to do that job. So why is it when it now comes to age of consent for these children that you claim you're trying to protect, it's nobody's talking about it? They still have to be 11 and be able to tell you, oh, I can have this, you know.
Okay, I think all of this is coming at the back of a lot of people who feel like, if you were saying, you know, the child bride thing, where people like want to sponsor I think this happens, I don't know anywhere else, but in all of my travel in Nigeria, I think this happens predominantly in the north, where, you know, they have they take care of the child from a very young age, and then once they reach that 11 or 13, the intention is to get married to that.
Yeah, it's prominent in the north, but not just the north though.
Sorry?
Because the Chinwe case was, I think,
it's a rare exception. It's a rare exception, but generally speaking, if you look at the north and the south in comparison, a high proportion of that is usually in the north. So I'm saying, and the people that actually do this thing, I think, are a lot of people in power, a lot of people who are wealthy, and a lot of people who actually influence the lawmakers. So I'm thinking, is this something that we can actually do at the end of the day if these people have a lot of backing in terms of wealth and in terms of people that they know in the legal industry? But at the end of the day, we have to...
Impossible is nothing. If everybody can rise up against this, then definitely...
Oh, come on. If this is Nigeria, people haven't risen to so many other problems, let alone the child right issue.
The backward mentality.
No, that's not the backward mentality. We're also talking about...
If you keep talking about, oh, are we going to be able to... Now, how we
it's
always
not about
looking for excuses for, are we
I am
going
not
to be
even
able
saying...
to? Why don't we stand up and do it?
If you stand up and let's see what happens. You know, you live in this country. If you live in this country, stop being utopian in this matter. I'm not saying we should not do anything. I'm just saying that you know that at the end of the day...
We can't keep complaining and not doing anything about it.
I'm not saying let's not do anything. At least DJ has even done very well. Yeah.
Do the same. Follow DJ's footsteps.
I just really want to make my point. Can I just complete my point? Let me please complete my point. Let me just complete my point before you do your advocacy thing at the end of it. Please, I'll give you room to do that. So I was like, even in so many other countries, because I was actually looking at the age of consent in different countries. The US has a few states that have 18 as their age of consent, and some other states have 21 as their age of consent. And I looked at the UK as well, and their age of consent is 16. So if all of these super countries, you know, actually have higher rates of age of consent, you know, why should... And even the African countries, I looked at some of the African countries, it's ranging between, you know, 14, 15, 16, and the most you will get is the 18 and 21. And I'm like, how come Nigeria has decided, you know,
because it's kind of part of Nigeria's tradition, especially in the north, like you said, and
it's not a tradition. If let's not get it twisted. It's not part of the Hausa culture. No.
It's part of their customary law. If you know about the northern customary law, you will know that it is part of their customary law for you to be able to marry a girl child.
If you want to, what I'm saying is that it's not part of tradition. It's not part of tradition. It's allowed for anyone who wants to get involved.
If it's part of the customary law, then it's kind of part of their tradition.
I'm saying it's not.
So what's the way forward now?
The way forward is for everyone to stop complaining and do exactly what DJ did and start posting things like that till we get to the right people, till the right people get to hear about this, and then there's a change effected immediately. It is time for change.
Yes, I would definitely like for a change because I'm not happy about this 11 years age of consent.
You feel like it's impossible. Like,
no, I don't think so. I'm just saying
because they have money. If you
it's
keep
okay,
saying that,
it's
come on, man, then who's going to do anything about it? Who's going to do anything about it?
Okay.
Ife is very passionate, as I call him always, an advocate.
Very passionate about it. Of course, I am passionate about it, but getting angry is not going to solve anything.
And then we have to be realistic as well.
And talk about it in a strategic way so that
please, can
these
you tell
lawmakers...
Say that again, strategic way.
These lawmakers
will
have no choice than to effect this very important change.